everyone, my name is Joe and welcome back to another theory video. Today we got another awesome video for you guys. You guys have been so supportive on this series and it honestly blows my mind every single time, and that means we're gonna keep coming out with it. I mean, if you guys love it this much, that means we need a lot more episodes of it. I mean, I'm thinking of just posting this every day because there's so much to like make videos about. There's tons. So today's episode is pretty spooky. This is about the first and the second player ever made, John and Jane Doe. You guys have been requesting this one a lot in the comments, so I thought I'd do as much research as I possibly could so that way we can make a video about it today. And guys, I'm not gonna lie, this is one of the spookiest and one of the coolest ones we've looked at so far. If you've missed the past two episodes, be sure to go check them out. They will be in the description down below. One is about 1 times 1 times 1, and the other one is about the biggest hack ever on Roblox. So be sure to go check those out if you haven't seen them already, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And let's go ahead and hop into today's episode. So this one started on the very first year of Roblox, okay? And that's because this is about the first and the second player ever made. So they created 2 accounts. The creator of the game created 2 accounts. One called John Doe, which was the very first account. Actually, it wasn't the very first account. It was the second account. Same with Jane Doe. That was number 3. I believe the first account ever made was the CEO's account. So that's why these are the second and the third accounts ever made. And so these accounts were supposedly meant just for like testing stuff. So if a non-NPC player hopped into a server, Jane and John Doe would hop on there and they would kind of be like NPCs that would kind of just fill up the server so the person didn't feel alone. To my knowledge, they didn't really say anything in game. They were just other players in the game, so that way you didn't like just feel like you were by yourself, because back in the day they must have had literally like no players, because that's how they would flood a server. They would use these 2 accounts and they would go on to servers that didn't really have anyone. So if one person joined, then it would be 3 people in the server, so that way the one person wouldn't be by themselves. And so you might be asking me, Joe, why is this scary in any sense? It was just an account that the creator made. There's nothing scary about this. And so after Roblox started getting some traction, they just stopped using these 2 accounts, okay? They were just sitting there and nothing would happen to them. And after a while, I believe the creator wanted to go back and delete the accounts, but surprisingly, they were hacked actually, because they were password guessed, which is actually how a lot of hacks happen on Roblox, is that they just get password guessed and then they lose access to the account. And so this happened with John and Jane Doe. And if you go to their profiles on Roblox, you'll see that they have 8 friends. And these friends are believed to be the hackers who took the account. I do not know why they're not banned, but obviously there's not enough proof just to ban them outright. So that must be why. And so even though this is still not that spooky, you know, I mean, it is horrible that they got hacked. I mean, that always happens. The second and the third account are lost. I mean, that's a kind of a big deal. But here's where it really starts to get spooky, and this always freaks me out, because when I was thinking of making this video, I was like, this is too spooky for me, man. I don't know if I want to make this video. So supposedly, even the people who hacked those accounts haven't been able to get into it. And so far, we don't know who owns the accounts right now, because right now they're just kind of up in the air and we don't know who interacts with them anymore, because supposedly the hackers have said that they can't get into the accounts, which means someone else either password guessed theirs when they stole it, or something else happened, and that's where this gets freaky. So the date they were hacked was March 18th, okay? So you might just think a normal day, but the only thing is, supposedly every March 18th now, when they come back in play every March 18th. And supposedly on this day, they can message any player on all of Roblox, and if you get a message from them, it's just some weird code that you can't even read. If I type up here in chat, it would just look like this, like just a bunch of weird numbers, a bunch of weird letters, and you might think, what the heck? How is this person messaging me? I don't have them added. But if you get this message, that means you're gonna be hacked next, actually. That's the whole theory behind this stuff. It's really freaky. It's mainly freaky because March 15th is coming up really soon, and that means they are going to be coming back, which is so spooky. I do not like that. This is what I hate dealing with theories, man. I do not want to be hacked. And so a part of the theory is that the people who are on their friends list are people who have been hacked in the past and not the actual hackers who hacked them. And so March 18th is coming up, and that means you guys should be really careful on this date, okay? I'm not going to be playing on March 18th because I don't want to be hacked. But if you guys want to live life on the edge, I guess you can go ahead and play on that day. But there's always the potential that you will be hacked. And so signs to look out for is if you get a message from a random person or a person under the name of John Doe and you're being sent random letters and random like numbers, that is a bad sign, and that means you're targeted next. You should actually be looking out for that anywhere. Honestly, don't be trying to find those kind of like weird like letters and numbers, because someone might comment that down below, and I would recommend not looking at it, because it might kind of like add on a curse, if you may. I don't really know. I don't know if I believe in curses or not, but I'm still gonna avoid them just because I don't want to take a chance. You know, I like my main account. I don't want it to be hacked. And so this begs a very important question. Who is going to be hacked next by them? This is what everyone's wondering. I mean, I feel like they're gonna target a YouTuber. I really feel like they would, but I don't know. It's supposedly completely random. It's because supposedly all we know is that the account is lost, and that's what, here's my own personal theory, is that the account was coded to join random servers and say hi to people and all that kind of stuff. And so when it got hacked, it like messed up this code. So when it joins a server, it can't say any proper messages. It can just say bam, these like random letters and numbers. And so that's also why it can message random people, because it's allowed to technically join any server it wants, so it should be able to message any player it wants. So my theory is that when it messages you, that means you've been targeted by them, and then that you're next. But I don't really know. This is all up to kind of, I guess, your opinion of what you think, because there's not a ton of information on this. That is the only thing with doing videos about things that came out a long time ago, is that there's not a ton of information about this. So I tried to get everything I could, but it is still really scary, and the date is coming up soon. So I know I'm not gonna be playing on my main account during that date, but I might get like a second account and try to play on that, and maybe see if we can stumble upon John or Jane Doe. I mean, it would be terrifying, but I would be very interested to see if we could find it. Anyway, that is all for today's theory video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. Drop a like it down below and subscribe if you haven't already. We're gonna be coming out with this hopefully every other day or every day, because there's just so many stories to cover. So I mean, hopefully you guys do keep enjoying them. Leave a comment down below of what you thought happened, and we will see you guys tomorrow for another video. See you later, guys.